Hi, BookTube. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and this is part two to my winter TBR. I'm going into winter TBR. So I thought I would go ahead and film because I was feeling a little anxious about it and feeling like this was a boring video. Part one was boring. I don't know if this is going to be any more interesting or not. I'm gonna try to make it interesting. It'll probably be more interesting if I could come up with like a game or something. And yes, I'm already in my PJs, but you know what? Like I said, I was feeling anxious, so I'm gonna, what the heck? And plus, you can also get an image of my tree. In the background, it's lit up, but I'm sure it will be going off real soon. So it might not go up until midnight. I don't know what the timer. I don't remember what the timer is set on. Anyway, so let's talk about like my plans for how I'm organizing these. So I'm trying to go by the months. Unfortunately, I think I've said this before. I think my biggest problem is that I have given myself so many options that I can't narrow it down, and I keep thinking, oh, I should probably read this book because I already started and I need to get back into it, or like, but this is the shiny new book and I really want to read the shiny new book right now. So, and like that being today's new book being Dune. I just bought this one. How many pages is this version? Let's see, how many? 600 and, well, the afterword goes up to 687. Okay, so, but the book itself will end, the book itself will end on so much appendices. I mean, I know those are important because it kind of explains the world. So 600 and, oh, that's appendices again. $617 pages. So it's not that bad. I kind of really like these new editions where they have the title Dune going, horizontal? Yeah, no, vertical. Horizontal. I always get horizontal and vertical mixed up, but horizontal is going this way because horizon, that's how the horizon is. So this is with the title of the whole series going vertical, and then all the other books in the series, they have the subtitles of the other books in the series are down at the bottom here. Usually, this one is the first book, so it's just called Dune. Which, that reminds me, there's another I totally forgot, there's also Rise of Empire in Deadhouse Gates I need to get to, too. That might be another extra book I'm going to add to this. I totally forgot to grab those. Okay, so first let's talk about when I'm thinking about December. Let's see, this is how I'm organizing. So first I have, let's see. Okay, let's see, what do I thinking about right? So first I feel like I should get to this one for December, Song of Solomon, because this is my sister's book, and as I said in part one, I want to be able to return 2 books to her, and one of them being The House of Mirth, which I just need to return her copy because I bought myself, like I said in that video, I bought myself my own copy. And this one, so I wanted to be able to, while returning that one to her, I wanted to be able to have at least one of the books I borrowed from her read. And I have 2 more books, like 2 Ayn Rand books, and then I have this one, Toni Morrison. So I'm going to read, so I think I should probably start this one in December. I'm trying to start off the last month and going into 2022 with, positive feelings and trying to, thinking, I can do it. I can read these books in each month. So I'm going to read this tonight after I'm done filming this before I go to bed. I'm also filming this because I'm uploading part 1. I'm still, the video for part 1 is still processing, so you guys won't see it until tomorrow. Because it's still, oh, nope. So I guess it was 11:30 she cut it off. Sorry. But anyway, what was I going to say? She won't, so by the time you guys see this, you won't see this until tomorrow, and because right now it's 11:30, so it's still Monday, as I'm filming as I'm filming part 2, so you won't see part 1 until Tuesday, and then you'll see, I will probably upload part 2 you won't see part 1 until Tuesday, and I will probably upload part 2 Tuesday as well. It will go through the uploading process, but it's not officially December because it's the 30th, so November's not over yet as of Tuesday, so this one is a definite. I'm gonna read that one so that maybe by the new year, when we go visit her new year, I can bring this to her. So, so I'm gonna, this one, and then as you guys know, I already mentioned that I'm going to read, okay, so I'm just have to reach over. I'm going to read the 2, Mr. Timothy, about Tiny Tim as an adult, and then I'm going to reread Christmas Carol, which is one of the shortest ones here, out of all these books, along with, the Chimes. So I'm going to read those 2 as well for December. And then this one is, this is my reread for the month, Oliver Twist, which I think I can do. I mean, it's not that long, but I mean, again, it's Dickens, and his writing style can be kind of slow moving, and I'm not going to guarantee finishing it, but I'm going to try to read it, because like I said in the previous video, I feel like it fits the Christmas season. I don't know why. But, so I'm going to read that one. So I'm reading 3 Dickens, and then I'm going to go ahead and read this Haunted House story by Darcy Coates. And, she has a lot of books that are kind of about haunted houses. I mean, I guess that's her thing or whatever, because, so, especially since the Christmas time used to be a time for telling ghost stories. Now, I don't, and I think, like I said, I think that's a UK thing. I don't think that's in America. It's not an American thing. I don't know, though. Maybe it is. I would have to look up the history of how people celebrate Christmas in America. But I figured I would go ahead and read this for December as well. And then my longest book that, my longest book will be Nosferatu, because the bad guy has a thing for Christmas. Which by the way, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Joe Hill looks so much like his dad. Just going by that picture, he looks just like his dad. This is my law book, so really I should consider reading this tonight. So unfortunately that means that the Walt Disney is gonna go on hold, be put on hold for now. And then the last book is I keep coming back. I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and read this. I keep thinking about it. And that's The Only Good Indians. It's another of those that has the whole book club pick thing at the bottom where it says, where it talks about how it has stuff. In the back, a reader's guide where it has questions and interviews with the author and stuff like that, and a discussion guide. So Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which I still have not read some of her other books. Like, I'm meaning to go ahead and get her Mexican Gothic, get that on an audiobook and listen to that one. Either get it from Libby or download it from my other. But yeah, it's funny that this says fans of Stephen King's It and Peter Straub's ghost story should find plenty to love in this tale of friends who are haunted by a supernatural entity they first encountered in their youth. And that's Sylvia Moreno Garcia's quote, her blurb about the book. And Paul Tremblay also blurbed it. Victor Lavelle, who is the author of The Ballad of Black Tom, and so of course naturally a lot of Josh Malerman. So a lot of authors that write horror stuff. I wonder if Stephen King is a blurb from Stephen King himself. Let me look. Let me see. Rebecca Rowanhorse also blurbed it. Greg Hendricks. I don't see anything from Stephen King. I'm wondering if he did, So those are my December. That's what I'm going to read in December. Okay, and here comes the tough part. When I'm going to read the rest of the year. It is so hard to narrow it down. That's my biggest problem because So I did already narrow it down earlier tonight. I decided to put Northanger Abbey. I put that one back and Lady Alice's Secret back as well. And like I said, I'm going to put I'm putting the Walt Disney bio on hold as well. Like I said, I'm going to finish out the chapter, I think, and then I'm going to... So, I'm kind of trying to do this thing for, in February, kind of read books that have a romance element in February, but also are kind of the opposite of romance. So, let me go ahead and show you what I'm considering. Well, let me first, before I do that, let me go ahead and lift this up. This is December. And that's gonna go well, isn't that? Okay, so let's see. So I already kind of have February set up. So let's see. What do I have for February? I think this is March. I don't think this is March. That was March. Which biggest problem is that February is the shortest month. Which, not that it's that long to begin with. I mean, not that it's that short. I mean, it's only like, it ends on the 29th instead of the 30th or the 31st. So, it's only a couple days shorter. So, first, I wanted to get back to, the Mysteries of Udolpho. I'm going to read that in February. And I'm assuming there is a bit of romance element, but it's also like, I think it's gonna, it also is like kind of horror-esque. This girl's in this horrible situation where she might not be able to marry the man she loves. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. It's kind of a gothic story, so I thought it would be great. Fluffy romance story. So that's what I'm trying to anti-fluffy love stories. This one, and then I'm gonna also read the Valette in February, and it takes place in France. So I think February in France. And it's just like, this one's trying to find, she's lonely and stuff, and there is a romance, but I think, there's, of course, external forces trying to get in their way, and also, it's kind of pinkish color, so I thought this would be another great February read. And then we have Son of Shadows is another February. Like I said before, I've been meaning to get to this one and finally read it. Again, there's a romance, but it's kind of a romance where the rest of the family does not. From what I've gathered from the reading the description, the family doesn't approve of the romance. Or it's like And, so I thought that would also be a great February read. And I keep thinking that maybe I should I'm gonna put a book aside here. Well, let me first, I'm also, like I said in the preview in part 1, I thought that, for some reason, I thought this would be a great February read as well. Blood and Beauty, a novel of the Borgias. Blood, there's blood, same color scheme. And just also the Borgias have quite the reputation, including Lucrezia Borgia, and so it's again, anti-fluffy romance. I mean, some of these bigger books, though, I might not read. I might start. I mean, this might change, though. What I'm showing you now might change. I mean, these are the books I'm going to look into reading. But this might change because, again, I've said this before, that whenever I talk about these books in the videos, all of a sudden I have the desire to read them as I talk about them and as I look at them. So who knows, I might start that in December. But then I have several other bigger books as well, so, including Dune. And then there is, next is the one that I'm thinking I might put down for later, but I'm a little conflicted because it was one that I got from the library and I had started to read it, but I haven't picked it up. I bought a copy, but I haven't picked it up since. Is Deborah Harkness's A Discovery of Witches. And for some reason, this is the one I'm thinking about putting aside for now and not reading this one in February. Again, this is the shortest month. February is the shortest month, so This one I might read in January or might read in December. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But this is the one that I will put aside for now. And then you have one of my nonfictions is Plato's The Republic. This is the nonfiction I think about reading this month for February. Although the problem is, again, I will not be finished with the Walt Disney bio. Which, this one has this one has like essays and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that maybe if I put the commitment into it, that I'll get through this really quickly. I still feel like I should narrow this down because, again, February is the shortest month. It's so hard. It's hard to make a decision. So, because on the one hand, it's like I should probably consider the books that I've started to read and haven't got back to, like Discovery of Witches, for instance. But then there are other books that I'm also excited to read, and then there are ones that are not normally my kind of thing, like The Republic, and I want to try them out while I'm still in the mood and still intrigued by them. So I think this will be my February TBR. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I put aside Discovery of Witches for now, so this is my February TBR. So we got that one, which, like I said, it really should be my shortest TBR, but it's not. Let's see. And then the only other one, the rest of these books will be for. And then you have what I'm thinking about for March. So first, because these are kind of shorter works, I'm thinking March. Actually, this should actually be considered February, but because it's shorter works. But I'm going to read some of the works in this big anthology of Oscar Wilde's works, his writings. And like I said, I don't know if I'll read this in order or not. Sometimes I feel obligated to read it in order, and I just can't bring myself to not read it in order. So you have the stories all the way start from page 5 all the way up to page 214. Then you have his poems, which start on page 229 all the way to 232, or no, poems in prose, and then you have his poems that are not in prose that start with 241 to 245 being, or 248 being the last one, where the last one starts. And then you have his lectures, which are from page 273 to 282, and then you have the journalism section, which starts on page 295 and ends on 305. And his articles on art starts on 313 to 321. And then his articles on literature starts 331 to 353. And then you have essays 361 to 491. Aphorisms, I don't know if aphorisms, that starts on page 529 to 534, and then you have 537 is where the play Importance of Being Earnest starts. So it's a collection of his works, So it's not like reading a whole novel. So I might, read some of the works of fiction. So it's not like I'll be reading this whole thing. Just reading parts of it. Like some of the short story, like some of the fiction. I feel like this will be my part of my February TBR. And then you have these two books. I don't know. These might be January. I might make these January reads. And then, like I said before, I talked about kind of these two books I would read together, and that is Paradise Lost, which this is an epic poem, so physically it's not as much to read, but, oh, shoot. Sorry about that. I don't know what you guys have been looking at, but something popped on my screen. You probably just see me staring and saying, oh, shoot. I don't know if you guys actually, I guess you don't really see it, but, so all you'll see is me staring at something appearing on my screen. So, I thought Paradise Lost and The Name of the Rose would work well together because it's kind of a similar, I don't know, actually, no, not really. Actually, it's Dante, portable Dante that I should be reading with this, not this one. But it's okay. This is the one I need to get to. I need to finish because this is the first one I bought. So I'm gonna read these two together. But there is kind of, actually, it's not the Italian aspect. It's the religious aspect. That's what I'm thinking. They both kind of deal with religion. So I'm gonna read these two together as well. So this is one part of my March TBR, and then again another situation where I spotted these two books and was like, I need to get back and start reading these. So you have A Clash of Kings, which is the second book in Song of Ice and Fire series that I've been meaning to reread, and I got it in this edition. Which I love the print. It's such like what's great about these size books is the print is not minuscule. It's big print, so it should be a little bit helpful for me to read it. Maybe it won't feel as much to read. So, and I'm probably gonna start over. For some reason, there's also The Way of Kings. It's another one that I should have grabbed, but I didn't. I need to get to. And of course, I'm sure I'm going to be reminded once again because I'll probably watch a video by Reagan from Peruse Projects or someone else. But yeah, this is another one that I'm thinking about looking into for March as well. Along with, I don't want to get behind on any more series. I don't want to get out of the habit of getting behind series, so I want to read the second one in this series, the Emperor series, which is about Julius Caesar and his origin, like how he became the emperor. So it's it's an origin story. It's fictionalized, but it's, I can't remember whose video I was watching where they were asking what is it when you have something based on, I think it was Lauren in the books. She was just talking about reading the book about Agatha Christie and her disappearance when she disappeared for 11 days. And, like how no one really knows what happened during those 11 days. And so, which actually Doctor Who also covered that, did an episode about that too, where Donna and the Doctor, the 10, met Agatha Christie and they kind of, and they have it where what happened is before she disappeared, she encountered they she goes to a party and something there's an alien wasp that's flying around, and there's a murder. So it's kind of inspired by some of her novels, and they ask her, the doctor and Donna ask her, you gotta help us solve this, Yeah, I can do the otherworldly stuff, but you are good at the mystery and everything. And then it kind of like things happen. But anyway, so there, I remember I bring that up because she was talking about books that are based on actual events, but they're fictionalized version of things. Like she was wondering what those were called, and that's what the book about Agatha Christie that's coming out. It's fiction, but it's based on like an actual, like Agatha Christie actually did disappear for 11 days, and no one knows like what she did during those 11 days, why she disappeared. Of course, it's probably something mundane, like she just needed to take some time, because I think the part about her husband having an affair was true. I think that part might have been true. I don't know. I would have to look that up. And she probably just needs some alone time to get away from him because he's a bastard for doing that to her. But anyway, so this is also one of those kinds of series where it's based on it's based on history, I think, but it's a fictionalized version. So this is the second book, and like I said, I don't want any of my series to fall under the radar and to get neglected. And again, another one that has the big print. I love that. I like the big print. And I used to feel like, oh, the smaller print, minuscule print makes me so like sophisticated and smart and stuff that I can read it. But now I just get excited every time I see a big book with big, huge print. I love that. I prefer that over the minuscule stuff. So here's what I'm thinking for March. So that's some ways away. Which this will be good though, because that way I won't have to make a bunch of separate little videos each month of TBRs, because I feel like these videos are kind of boring. I feel like, granted, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys like these videos, but I feel for me these are kind of boring. I don't really like these ones. I feel like I'm not adding anything unique to it. Like a lot of those people who create games, TBR games. One more book I forgot. I also was thinking about The Queens of Innis Lear, and I was debating because I didn't know if it would make the most sense. I mean, I'm sure I'll get a lot of people who will say that for sake of my foot's asleep. The problem with the way I'm sitting. So I'm sure I will probably get people who will tell me, "Oh, you should read the play first to really appreciate it." But I'm still gonna go ahead and read The Queens of Innis Lear, that's inspired by the play King Lear that Shakespeare wrote. And it's kind of, I think it kind of has a fantasy element to it. So, like I said, again, I'm sure I will get some of you guys or other people that will tell me, "Oh, you should read the play first." But, I find my experience with books are kind of based off of classics, that I can still enjoy the story. Yeah, I would appreciate it more potentially if I knew the original inspiration for it. But I feel like you can still enjoy it. It's not like you're going to get confused with the story if you don't read it. So there's also this one. Sorry, my foot is asleep. So I'm trying to wake it up. Just sitting here trying to hopefully wake up soon. But, so yeah, there's this as well. You can read that. Okay. Now this is where I don't really have a decision. Well, I guess I do. Because, like, whatever I left will be in my January reads. Because I've already shown you my December reads, so, I don't know if I'll get to these in January or not, but I feel like I said in the previous part one, I feel like I should read The Spawn of Lilith, because that way I can decide if I want to send this back or not, or like donate this to one of these bookstores. Like I said, even though I only spent like $1 on this, I still feel like, again, I still feel guilty that I wasted $1 and like I didn't need to buy a book at the dollar store. So, and then I might go ahead and read Salem's Lot, because again, I said that someone's vlog was inspiring me to read it, to pick it up. So these might be January reads. What I probably will do is that I will narrow these down even further. I mean, I might not even read those. It's just, again, the same situation where I look at these books, I'm like, oh, I need to read this one and this one too. So, let's see. I mean, I should know better, because it's not like I'm a fast reader, so. So you have Pillars of the Earth. That one's a definite. I feel like, again, Imaginary Friend is another one where I got it from, where I feel like I should pick it up soon. I should pick it up like a lot sooner rather than later, because it's a library, you know. It was one that I originally got borrowed from the library, and I remember where I left off, and I remember enough of the story. Like, at Discovering Witches, I could potentially start over. I should potentially think about starting over with that one. Although it still has not been that long. So, and Discovering Witches, I always might come back to it. So, I feel like this is a definite. And like I said, I also feel like The Pillars of the Earth is a definite, because this is probably the oldest book. Like, there were a couple of videos that I watched where they asked you to comment saying the oldest book on your shelf, and I probably could have used this as an answer, The Pillars of the Earth, because this is probably one of the first books I bought when we moved here. So it's not the oldest book as in, you know, oldest from before we came here. I don't know if you really even have any of the books from when I came here, or at least a lot of the books I had from before we moved here are books that I rebought. So they're new copies of a book that I had before we moved here. So I feel like this is another one I should be reading soon. Next this is one that again, another situation where I bought the regular paperback copy of it, and I started it probably last summer. I attempted to read it, and that is The Ruin of Kings by Jenna Lyons, and I feel like I need to pick it up again. And some of these fantasies and classics, the problem is I think I picked bad timing to start the books, and like I need to read them when I have plenty of time to just chill, and I don't have to go to work anytime soon. So the next 2 days I should probably consider some of these books, opening up some of these books, but I don't know which ones. Okay, so that one is another one. You have also the Luminaries. That's another one as well. Again, this is a situation where I got this, you know, I've finally got another copy of it, and I'm so happy to see this copy at the Rose Office. This is where I got this copy. I was very happy, because the first time I saw this at the Rose Office, it was the hardback book. And I'm confused by this one, because I don't know if it's fantasy or just historical fiction. Or maybe it's, you know, magical realism, but it's another one I feel like I should pick up. Oh yeah, so I think this is one of those situations where I Yeah, so I do this now where like I mark up to like 100 pages, up to 150 pages, up to like I do the dog ear to mark for it so I can read up to that page. So this is another one, and then we have this one as well. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This is another one I need to. And this is a situation where I got very anxious when I saw there was only one copy left, or at least at the time. And my mom got frustrated and impatient, and she was basically like, just go ahead and buy it. So I feel like for her and for myself, I need to read this like soon, like now. So and that, especially now that although I really love the red one. I really liked the red one, but they ran out of red ones, and I didn't want to wait anymore. So, but I love the bird on there, the bird. So I feel like this is another one I should read soon. I read in January or maybe read in December. And some of these bigger books, it will be more like I'll be reading them on and off too. And so, and like I said, I'm gonna get a smaller Goodreads goal anyway. So hopefully that will take some of the pressure off. Which I will elaborate more on that because I'm gonna I'm gonna film maybe on Wednesday. I'll film it. A video or I might film it tomorrow. Maybe I should film it tomorrow. Is it tomorrow yet? Yeah, it is tomorrow. It's officially Tuesday, so maybe I'll film it later today when the sun's up. So then you have The Witching Hour is another one that I'm going to be reading on and off as well, and I don't know when I'll start picking this one up again. Like I said, what I'm showing you now is probably going to be more like I'll go through these and see which one I'm inspired to read. Like, I mean, like you saw that I do have like kind of a sort of plan, but that might change. Basically. So I might pick this one up again soon. It's a lot. It's long. But I'm glad I'm giving her another shot though, because I did really like her story in the world that she built. I just was not sure how I felt about the direction the story was going to go with one of the main characters. And then you have, so this is another one of those situations where it was one of those books that I normally don't buy, not the type of book I normally buy, and I saw it at the roast office for really cheap, and I was like, I'm gonna try it, so I don't want this to fall behind. But this might be a December read, I don't know. And this is the one about the prostitute Sugar, the crimson petal and the white. Okay, so this is a January right now. This is another book that kind of has a guide, a reader's guide on the back, in the last couple pages, I think. Let's see. Yep, this one has a reader's guide as well, so that's I like that. I kind of like reading the questions, although sometimes it can spoil me a little bit if I read to someone enough with the questions on the back and stuff like that, and the interviews with the author. Sometimes it can spoil parts of the book. So, it's another one I might read in January. I might start this in December. It's just like so hard because it's just very hard to narrow it down. Okay, and then we have Okay. Okay, by the way, I'm not doing this again how I'm filming right now. Because it's very uncomfortable. So then we have this one, like I said, it felt very, wintry, and that is The Wolf. This is a book that I think, I don't know if it's I think it was the buddy read that Jessie May and Elliot Brooks did. I don't know if it was part of that or part of the book club that she was in with Alan from the Library of Alexandria. I don't know if it was if it was from that one that him and Jessie May are in, or if it was the buddy read with her and Elliot Brooks. I do not remember. But Jessie May, I remember really loving this one. So, and I feel like it's just like I said in the previous part, I feel like it fits the, wintry season. So, again, another one that might be an option for January. I almost feel like I shouldn't even upload these editions, delete them, because it's basically saying all the same things. And then the last books are, that we have, I feel like I should get, this one I feel like I should read, Armadale by Wilkie Collins. I think I'm going to go ahead and read this over the, Woman in White. That's the other one I put away. I'm going to come back to that one. Because, and again, there's the reason where I feel like I need to take a good amount of time to read several pages of this book to dive deep into it. So you have, which is, about the two guys have the same name, and there's a mystery behind, there's a reason behind why they have the same name. But I feel like because it's not as known as some of Wilkie Collins' other books, like The Moonstone and The Woman in White, I want to go ahead and read. I think this is the one I should go ahead and read. And I also keep thinking, I also in the back of my mind thinking, this could potentially be a favorite. Maybe if I don't pick a book that's overshadowed by everyone's love for it. For the other ones. So, yeah, that's in January. That's probably more of a definite January read. And then this one, I feel like I definitely need to read this in winter. Going by the title alone, The Winter's Tale, I feel like I definitely need to attempt to read this for the next few months. Like I said, I'm gonna. So, although I could potentially read this for February because it does have a bit of a love story as well, but I think I might want to just start this in December. It's just so hard to narrow this down. And then I have 4 more books to show you guys. Let me just bring them over. Okay, then, so The Woman in White is going to be put aside. And then you have The Tower of Swallows, because I feel like I need to get to this book. The series, season 2 is going to be this month. Well, as in December. Season 2 will be on Netflix this month, and hopefully it will do better. Hopefully the season 2 will be a lot better than season 1, because I think season 1 had a rocky start, and a lot of fans, and a lot of the new people were kind of confused, and a lot of the old fans, they knew why it was not as great. So I'm going to start this, and usually I get to these pretty quickly, so this might be a January read, or this might be February, or, a February read. But yeah, I feel like I need to get to Tower of Swallows as well, so. And then we have The Historian by Elizabeth Costovo, about the idea of what if Dracula was still alive. So it's a little different from the Stephen King Salem's Lot. It's actually a book about Dracula. And I was going to read this for Dark Academia, but it fell through, and Dark Academia did not happen in November or October. So this is one I definitely need to get to. And this was another one where I already started. But with this one, I feel like because I didn't get very far, I could potentially just start over from the beginning without feeling guilty about it. So I'm gonna start. So this is another one like potential January reads. So there's one more book to go. One more, and then I'm done. And then, like I said, we'll see what happens. These might not be read in the months that I said they will be read, but the Physician. For some reason, I felt like this would work for this time of year. This is about this young man who wants to become a physician, and he wants to go to this medical school in Persia. But of course, because he's Christian, and the Persians don't like them Christians, the Muslims, and don't like Christians, so he has to pretend to be Jewish so he can go to this school. So I don't know how well it's gonna go. I'm very nervous for the guy. So I remember really enjoying it, and this one is a movie. I'm gonna have to look that up. I never did. I meant to look up the movie adaptation for this, but yeah. So I liked it so far. It was definitely really interesting. I like kind of his master because he becomes an apprentice to this guy, which he's a traveling physician. He's like a combination of a physician and an entertainer. And he teaches, and our main character becomes his apprentice, and he teaches him his tricks of the trade. And they have this really sweet, endearing relationship so far. He sees him as a bit of a son, I think. And so this is another one I want to get back into. So that is my attempt to organize these of when I read these books. I don't know how well that's going to go. I would show you all my January potential reads, but that's a lot. It's a lot. I still didn't narrow it down very well, so I need to narrow it down some more. It's very hard to do that. Because as soon as I take down all the books I want to read, and then as you noticed, there are other books that I'm thinking about that I should be reading, but haven't got around to yet, that I didn't grab. So, anyway, that is my part 2 to my TBR for winter, autumn going into winter. If you guys like this video, give a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed it and weren't bored, and that I'm wrong in my fears of thinking that these videos are boring. It's just I still haven't figured out how I would want to do my TBR videos, because I know I don't get to everything that I talk about, and I have all these ideas of bringing books to this size, and I know I'm a slow reader, so. And I want to try to change that and get better. I mean, not to get faster, but just be better at committing myself to books this size. So, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification below to see if I post new videos. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.